So in this video, we're going to be talking about decomposing and composing shapes. This happens to go across many of the next couple of lessons that we're going to be looking at. So if we're looking at it here, we're going to get a better sense of it so that we know how to deal. When you talk about composing, my musicians, when you talk about composing, what are you talking about? Making music. So coming up with something new, right? In math, composing is seeing everything put together, okay? When you're talking about decomposing in math, you're talking about taking it apart. So let's talk about this shape here. If we're talking about this shape here, if we are looking at it right now, it's composed, okay? But if we decompose it, we can see that there are two right angles. Pardon me, I forgot to draw our little right angle symbols here. We have two right angles. We have two right triangles, pardon me, and we have a square. Why do we know it's a square?
Because they're equal sides.
All the sides are equal and they're equal to 12, that's right. All of the sides are 12 feet and they're all equal. So let's write some information for composing and decomposing. Okay, so our two definitions for us in math are looking at the whole for composing. And for decomposing, it's looking at the parts or using the parts. And that's what we're going to do here with this shape that we have. We are going to look at these parts. We're going to look at these parts to be able to solve for area of this trapezoid. This whole thing is composing a trapezoid, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get some water. So this whole thing is looking at a trapezoid. So if we look at the trapezoid is made of two right triangles and the square. So that's what we're going to solve our area for, because we've already done that and we know how to do that. So our triangles, and let's actually put our right triangles, even though we know now all triangles are solved using what, the area of all triangles is solved using what formula again?
Area equals half base times height.
Okay, if you don't have that yet, you got to study it. It's something you have to know. So our right triangles, now we're only doing one because our right triangles, do they have the same height?
Yes.
Do they have the same base?
Yes.
So we only have to do it once, but we have to remember that it's for how many right triangles?
2.
Okay. Here we go. What is our base?
5 feet.
What is our height?
12 feet.
What is 5 times 12?
60 feet.
60 feet. What is half of 60 feet?
30 feet.
Oh, and is it 60 feet or is it
squared?
60 feet squared? And half of 60 feet squared is?
30 feet squared.
30 feet squared. So that is what is for both of our triangles, right? Okay. Now let's go back and let's take a look at our square. Last year you learned the formula for a square. Who remembers how to find the area of a square? And let me remind you that a square is a special rectangle. It's a special rectangle. So what is our square's area? What about that one? We're not calling out any values. We have to write a formula. What's the area formula? Area equals?
Length times height.
Length times width or base times height. Okay? Length times width or base times height. Here's the thing. The width and the height are exactly the same thing. So if you get yourself mixed up like that, you're not going to get the problem wrong. It's just that when we're talking about it, we're talking about length and width. We know that both of these values are the same because you guys told me that all the sides were worth how much?
12 feet.
12 feet. So what's 12 times 12?
144
And what's my measurement?
feet squared.
144 feet squared. Okay? folks. We have the area of our square, we have the area of one of our triangles. So what do I have to do now to find the total area of our shape of our trapezoid?
You have to multiply the area of the trapezoid times 2 and then add the area of the square.
Okay, I can definitely do that. Multiply the area of the triangles times 2 and then add the square, but I could also just write 144 feet squared plus 30 feet squared plus 30 feet squared. So either way works for me. So what is the total value here? What's this column? The one column? 4. I'm asking you for a column, not the whole thing. What's the first column?
4.
Next column? 10. And the last?
2.
Okay, so don't guess, folks. Do the math. Don't guess. Do the math. So our total area here of our shape here, the total area equals what?
204 feet squared.
Okay, that's exactly how you do it. Okay, our total area equals 204 feet squared. So that's how you use the understanding of decomposing our shape to find the area of a shape that's this complicated.